Listen to me very carefully. I'm about to tell you something that nobody else is going to say to you, and it's going to change your life if you actually listen. I don't care if you're 20 years old or 50 years old. I don't care if you're making minimum wage or pulling in six figures. What I'm about to share with you is the single most important financial milestone you will ever achieve in your entire life. And most people, they miss it completely. They blow right past it without understanding what they just lost. I'm talking about your first $10,000, not your first million, not your first 100,000, your first $10,000. And before you roll your eyes and think, Kevin, that's nothing. $10,000 is pocket change. Let me stop you right there. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. And that kind of thinking is exactly why most people die broke. Now, before I go any further, I need you to do something for me. If you're serious about building wealth, if you actually want to understand how money works instead of being a slave to it your whole life, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash it. Join this community. Because what I'm about to teach you, they don't teach this in schools. They don't teach this in college. The financial education system is designed to keep you ignorant, and I'm here to break that cycle. So subscribe, become a member, and let's get to work. Here's what nobody tells you. That first $10,000 is the hardest money you will ever save in your entire life. It is brutal. It is painful. It will test every ounce of discipline you have. You know why? Because when you're starting from zero, every dollar feels impossible. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You've got rent, you've got food, you've got car payments, insurance, student loans, credit card debt. The system is designed to keep you on that hamster wheel forever. And saving even $100 feels like climbing Mount Everest. But here's the secret that separates the wealthy from everyone else. The wealthy understand that money is a tool. It's not something you spend to make yourself feel good for 5 minutes. It's not something you use to impress people who don't even like you. Money is a soldier, and your job is to build an army. That first $10,000, that's your first platoon, and without that first platoon, you will never ever build an army. Let me tell you what happens when you save your first $10,000. Everything changes. And I mean everything. First, your mindset shifts. See, most people, they think small. They think, I'll never get ahead. I'll never be wealthy. I'm just trying to survive. But the moment you hit $10,000 in your savings account, something clicks in your brain. You look at that number and you realize, I did this. I built this. And if I can do it once, I can do it again. That psychological shift is worth more than the $10,000 itself. Second, you gain options. This is critical. Listen to me. When you have $0 in the bank, you are a slave. You are owned by your job. You are owned by your landlord. You are owned by your creditors. You have no leverage. You have no power. You cannot negotiate. But when you have $10,000 sitting in the bank, you have breathing room. You have time. If you lose your job, you don't panic. You have 3 months, maybe 4 months to figure it out. If your car breaks down, it's annoying, but it's not a catastrophe. If an opportunity comes along, a business idea, an investment, a chance to take a risk, you can actually take it because you have a cushion. Third, and this is the big one, your first $10,000 teaches you the most important lesson about wealth. It teaches you that you can live on less than you make. Sounds simple, right? But 90% of people never learn this lesson. They make $50,000, they spend $50,000. They make $100,000, they spend $100,000. They get a raise, they upgrade their lifestyle, bigger house, nicer car, fancier vacations, and they end up exactly where they started, broke, stressed, and one emergency away from financial disaster. But when you save that first $10,000, you prove to yourself that you can delay gratification. You prove that you can say no. No to the fancy dinners, no to the designer clothes, no to the new phone every year, no to the lifestyle inflation that keeps everyone else trapped. And once you master that skill, once you prove to yourself that you can control your spending, you become unstoppable. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Kevin, I can't save $10,000. I'm drowning in debt. I'm barely making ends meet. I hear you. And I'm not going to stand here and tell you it's easy, but I am going to tell you it's possible. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Here's the formula. It's not complicated. You need to do 2 things. Increase your income and decrease your expenses. That's it. That's the whole game. Most people focus on one or the other. They try to cut expenses, but they're still broke because they're not making enough money. Or they make decent money, but they spend every penny because they have no discipline. You need both. Let's start with expenses because that's the fastest way to make progress. I want you to go through your bank statements for the last 3 months. Every single transaction. And I want you to ask yourself one question for every purchase. Did this make me wealthier or did this make me poorer? That $5 coffee every morning, poorer. That subscription service you forgot you had, poorer. That night out at the bar where you spent $100, poorer. I'm not telling you to never enjoy your life, but I am telling you that every dollar you waste is a dollar that could have been working for you. Cut the fat. And I mean really cut it. Cancel subscriptions you don't use. Cook at home instead of eating out. Stop buying things to impress people. Stop financing your lifestyle on credit cards. Every dollar you save is a soldier you're adding to your army. And when you get to 10,000 soldiers, that's when the real game begins. But cutting expenses is only half the battle. You also need to increase your income. And this is where most people get it wrong. They sit around waiting for a raise. They wait for their boss to notice them. They wait for the economy to get better. Stop waiting. Waiting is for losers. Winners take action. You want more money? Go get it. Get a second job. Start a side hustle. Learn a new skill that makes you more valuable. Sell things you don't need. Do whatever it takes. I don't care if you're delivering pizzas at night or mowing lawns on the weekend. There is no shame in hard work. There is only shame in being lazy and complaining about being broke. Here's the truth. Saving your first $10,000 is going to require sacrifice. It's going to require discipline. It's going to require you to live differently than everyone around you. Your friends are going to think you're cheap. Your family might not understand. People are going to tell you to live a little, to enjoy your life. Ignore them. Those people are broke. And they're going to stay broke because they don't understand what you're building. You're not building a savings account. You're building freedom. You're building options. You're building power. That first $10,000 is the foundation of everything that comes after. Without it, you're just another person trapped in the system, working until you're 70, hoping Social Security doesn't run out before you do. But with it, with that first $10,000, you're dangerous. You're a player in the game. And that's when things start to get really interesting. Now, let me tell you what happens after you hit that $10,000 mark. This is where it gets exciting. This is where you start to understand why the wealthy keep getting wealthier while everyone else stays stuck. Because once you have that foundation, once you have those $10,000 saved, you unlock something that most people never experience in their entire lives. You unlock the power of compound interest. And compound interest, my friends, is the closest thing to magic that exists in finance. Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people who ever lived, called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. He said, "Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't pay it." And he was absolutely right. Most people spend their whole lives on the wrong side of that equation. They're paying compound interest on credit cards, on car loans, on mortgages they can't afford. They're making other people rich, but when you save that first $10,000 and you start investing it, you flip the script. Now compound interest is working for you. Let me break this down in simple terms because this is critical. When you invest your money, you earn a return. Let's say you invest that $10,000 and you earn 10% a year. After 1 year, you have $11,000. Okay, that's $1,000. Not bad. But here's where it gets interesting. In year 2, you're not just earning 10% on your original $10,000. You're earning 10% on $11,000. So now you're making $1,100. In year 3, you're earning on $12,100. And it keeps building. That's compound interest. Your money is making money. And then that money is making money. And it snowballs. Now, some of you are sitting there thinking, Kevin, 10% a year, that's not going to make me rich. You're right. In the short term, it doesn't feel like much. But let me show you what happens over time. If you invest that $10,000 and you never add another penny, just let it sit there earning 10% a year. Do you know how much you have in 30 years? Over $170,000 from $10,000 without adding a single dollar. That's the power of time and compounding. But here's where it gets really powerful. What if you don't stop at $10,000? What if you keep going? What if after you save your first $10,000, you keep that discipline going and you save another $500 a month? Just $500. That's $16 a day, less than people spend on lunch. If you invest $500 a month for 30 years at 10%, you're not looking at a couple $100,000. You're looking at over $1 million. $1 million from saving $16 a day. This is what separates the wealthy from the poor. The wealthy understand that time is their greatest asset. They start early. They stay consistent. They let compound interest do the heavy lifting. The poor, they waste their 20s and 30s. They spend every dollar. They live for today. And then they wake up at 50 years old with nothing, and they wonder why life is so hard. Here's the brutal truth. If you're 30 years old right now and you haven't started saving, you're already behind. But you're not out of the game. You still have time, but you don't have time to waste. Every year you delay is a year of compounding you're giving up. And those years, you can never get them back. So if you haven't started, start today, right now. Not tomorrow, not next month, today. Now, I need to address something because I know what some of you are thinking. Kevin, I hear you, but I'm in debt. I've got credit card debt. I've got student loans. Should I pay off the debt first or should I save? This is a great question. And here's my answer. It depends on the interest rate. If you're sitting on credit card debt at 18% or 20% interest, you need to kill that debt first. You cannot outinvest 20% interest. It's mathematically impossible. That debt is a fire, and you need to put it out before you do anything else. But if you've got student loans at 4%, or a car loan at 5%, that's a different story. In that case, I want you to do both. Pay the minimums on the low interest debt and start building your savings at the same time. Because here's what nobody tells you. Debt is going to be part of your life for a long time. If you wait until you're completely debt-free to start saving, you might be 40 years old before you start. And by then, you've lost 15 or 20 years of compounding. That's a mistake you cannot afford to make. So here's the strategy. Attack the high interest debt like your life depends on it. Every extra dollar goes to killing that credit card balance. But once that's gone, once you've eliminated the toxic debt, you start building your $10,000 and you do it aggressively. No excuses, no distractions. You make it your mission. And let me tell you something else. Once you hit that $10,000 mark, something interesting happens. Banks start to notice you. Lenders start to see you differently. You go from being a risky borrower to someone with a track record, and that opens doors. You can get better interest rates. You can negotiate better terms. You have leverage because now you're not desperate. You're not living on the edge. You're someone with options. But here's the most important thing, and I need you to really hear this. That first $10,000 is not the finish line. It's the starting line. This is where most people mess up. They save $10,000 and they think, I did it. I'm good. And then they stop. They get comfortable. They start spending again. And before they know it, they're back to zero. Don't be that person. Once you hit $10,000, you set a new goal. 20,000, then 50,000, then 100,000. You keep moving the target because here's the secret. The first 10,000 is the hardest. The next 10,000 is easier. And the one after that is even easier. Why? Because now your money is working with you. You're earning interest. You're earning dividends. You're earning capital gains. The snowball's rolling downhill and it's picking up speed. Let me tell you a story. When I was young, I was broke. I mean, really broke. I was sleeping on a couch. I had $9,000 in credit card debt. I had no job. I had no prospects. But I had something else. I had hunger. I had discipline. And I had a plan. I took every job I could find, I sold things, I hustled, and I paid off that debt. Then I started saving. And when I hit my first $10,000, I felt like I had won the lottery. Not because $10,000 was life-changing money, but because I knew what it represented. It represented control, it represented freedom, it represented possibility. And then I took that $10,000 and I invested it. I didn't blow it on a vacation. I didn't buy a new car. I put it to work and it grew and I kept adding to it and it kept growing. And decades later, that discipline, that foundation I built with my first $10,000, that's what led to everything else, the businesses, the investments, the success. It all started with that first 10,000. So when people ask me, Kevin, what's the secret to building wealth? I tell them the truth. There is no secret. There's no magic pill. There's no get-rich-quick scheme. It's simple. You save more than you spend. You invest the difference. You stay disciplined. You stay consistent. And you let time do the work. That's it. That's the whole game. But simple doesn't mean easy. If it was easy, everyone would be rich. The reason most people fail is because they can't delay gratification. They can't say no. They can't stick to the plan when things get hard. They want results now. They want to feel rich today. So they spend money, they don't have to buy things, they don't need to impress people they don't like, and they end up broke, stressed, and miserable. Don't be like most people. Most people are losers when it comes to money. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. The average person retires with almost nothing. They depend on Social Security. They depend on their kids. They work until they physically can't anymore. And then they spend their final years struggling. Is that what you want? Because that's where you're headed if you don't change course right now. Saving your first $10,000 is your opportunity to get off that path. It's your chance to do something different, to be someone different. And I'm telling you, if you commit to this, if you make this a priority, your life will never be the same. You will look back 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you will thank yourself for making this decision. Now, I know some of you are fired up right now. You're ready to go. You're going to start saving today. That's great. But I also know that some of you are overwhelmed. You're thinking, this is too hard. I can't do this. Let me tell you something. Yes, you can. If I can do it, you can do it. If millions of other people can do it, you can do it. The question is, will you? The answer to that question, will you do it? That answer determines everything. It determines whether you spend the rest of your life working for money or whether money works for you. It determines whether you retire in dignity or whether you're struggling at 70 years old. It determines whether you pass wealth to your kids or whether you pass them nothing but debt and regret. This is not a small decision. This is the biggest financial decision you will ever make. So let me give you the roadmap. Let me tell you exactly what you need to do starting right now, today, this minute. First, you need to get honest with yourself about where you are. Pull up your bank account. Look at the number. Is it positive? Is it negative? Are you living paycheck to paycheck? Are you drowning in debt? Whatever the answer is, own it. No excuses, no victim mentality, no blaming the economy or your parents or your boss. Where you are right now is the result of the decisions you've made. And where you're going to be 5 years from now is the result of the decisions you make starting today. Second, you need to create a budget. And I know budgets are boring. Nobody wants to sit down and track every dollar. But here's the reality. You cannot manage what you do not measure. If you don't know where your money is going, you're never going to have control over it. So sit down, write down your income, write down your expenses, and figure out where you can cut. And I promise you there's fat to cut. Everyone has fat. You just have to be willing to cut it. Third, automate your savings. This is crucial. Do not rely on willpower. Willpower is garbage. Willpower fails. What you need is a system. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings account on the day you get paid. Before you pay your bills, before you buy groceries, before you do anything, pay yourself first. If you wait until the end of the month to see what's left over, there will be nothing left over. I guarantee it. But if you take that money off the top, if you never see it, you will adjust. You will figure out how to live on what's left. Start with whatever you can afford. If it's $50 a month, fine, start there. If it's $100, great. If you can do $500, even better. The amount doesn't matter as much as the habit, because once you build the habit of saving, once it becomes automatic, you can increase it. You get a raise, you increase your savings, you pay off a debt, you redirect that payment to savings, you find a side hustle, that money goes to savings. Every extra dollar is a soldier in your army. Fourth, protect your $10,000 like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. Once you start building that savings, people are going to come out of the woodwork trying to get you to spend it. Your buddy needs a loan. Your cousin has a business idea. There's a sale on a car you don't need, a vacation you can't afford. Resist. This money is not for spending. This money is for investing. This money is for building wealth. And anyone who tries to separate you from it is not your friend. Fifth, once you hit $10,000, and you will hit it if you stay disciplined, you need to put that money to work. Do not let it sit in a checking account earning 0%. Do not stuff it under your mattress. Inflation is eating it alive. You need to invest it. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to invest in because everyone's situation is different, but I will tell you this. Keep it simple. Index funds are your friend. They're low cost, they're diversified, they track the market, and over the long term, the market goes up. That's it. No fancy strategies, no day trading, no hot stocks your friend told you about. Just boring, consistent, long-term investing. And here's something most people don't understand. Investing is not about getting rich quick. It's about getting rich slowly. It's about putting your money in and leaving it alone, not checking it every day. not panicking when the market goes down, not selling when things get scary. The stock market is going to crash. It always does. And when it does, weak hands panic and sell. Strong hands stay the course. They understand that crashes are temporary, that the market always recovers, that the best buying opportunities happen when everyone else is scared. Let me tell you what I've learned after decades in this game. The investors who make money are not the smartest people. They're not the ones with the best information. They're the ones with discipline. They're the ones who can control their emotions. They're the ones who make a plan and stick to it no matter what. That's the real skill. Not picking stocks, not timing the market, but staying calm when everyone else is losing their minds. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room. Some of you are sitting there thinking, Kevin, this all sounds great, but I'm too old. I'm 40, I'm 50. I've already wasted too much time. It's too late for me. Stop it. Stop that right now. It is never too late. Is it harder? Yes. Do you have less time to compound? Yes, but you still have time. And you know what's worse than starting at 40 or 50? Not starting at all, getting to 60 or 70 with nothing and wishing you had started 10 years earlier. If you're older and you're just starting, you need to be more aggressive. You need to save more. You need to cut deeper. You need to work harder. You don't have the luxury of time that a 20-year-old has, but you have something they don't. You have experience. You have earning power. You've made mistakes and learned from them. Use that. Take every advantage you have and run with it. And for those of you who are young, in your 20s or 30s, listen to me. You have the greatest asset in the world. You have time. You have decades of compounding ahead of you. If you start now, if you save your first $10,000 before you're 30, you are setting yourself up for a life of abundance. You will never have to worry about money. You will retire early. You will have options. You will have freedom, but only if you start now, not later, not when you make more money, not when life settles down, now. Here's the bottom line. Saving your first $10,000 is not about the money. It's about proving to yourself that you can do hard things. It's about building discipline. It's about taking control of your future instead of letting life happen to you. It's about choosing delayed gratification over instant pleasure. And when you make that choice, when you commit to that path, everything changes. You start making better decisions. You stop wasting money on garbage. You surround yourself with people who have goals instead of people who just want to party. You become someone different, someone better, someone who's building something real instead of just surviving. And that person, the person you become in the process of saving your first $10,000, that person is unstoppable. I've seen it happen thousands of times. Someone starts with nothing. They're broke. They're in debt. They're scared, but they make the decision. They commit, and slowly, painfully, they start to build. First $1,000, then $2,000, then $5,000, and somewhere along the way, something clicks. They start to believe. They start to see what's possible. And once they hit that $10,000 mark, there's no stopping them. $20,000. $50,000, $100,000. They just keep going because they've tasted success and they want more. That can be you. That should be you. But it's only going to happen if you decide right now that you're done making excuses. You're done being broke. You're done letting life push you around. You're going to take control. You're going to build your $10,000. And you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. Now, I need you to do something for me. If this message resonated with you, if you're ready to take action, I need you to hit that like button right now. Smash it. Let me know you're serious. Then I need you to go to the comments and tell me your goal. Tell me when you're going to have your first $10,000 saved. Put it in writing. Make it public. Because when you say it out loud, when you commit, you're more likely to follow through. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Join this community. Because we're building something here. We're building a group of people who refuse to be average, who refuse to settle, who are committed to financial freedom. And I want you on this team. When you become a member, you're not just supporting the channel, you're investing in your own education. You're surrounding yourself with like-minded people who are on the same journey. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The road ahead is tough. Saving your first $10,000 is going to test you. There are going to be days when you want to give up, when you want to spend that money, when you question whether it's worth it. But I'm telling you, on the other side of that struggle is freedom. On the other side is security. On the other side is a life where you're in control. I built my wealth $1 at a time. I made sacrifices. I said no when everyone else was saying yes. I stayed disciplined when it was hard, and it paid off, not because I'm special, not because I'm smarter than everyone else, but because I understood this one simple truth. Wealth is built slowly. It's built with patience. It's built with consistency. And it starts with your first $10,000. So go out there and get it. Stop talking about it. Stop wishing for it. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Start today. Open that savings account. Set up that automatic transfer. Cut those expenses. Find that side hustle. Do whatever it takes, because your future self is counting on you. Your family is counting on you. And deep down, you know you're capable of so much more than you're giving yourself credit for. This is your moment. This is your chance to change your life. Don't waste it. Save your first $10,000 and watch everything change. Thank you for watching. Now get to work.